Hello everybody, I'm Almadiva and today we are having our second episode of Founders Interview where we interview the CEO and founder of SupportRoom just so that you get to know a lot more about him and what SupportRoom is and where it's going. So today we're talking about everybody's favorite topic, money. So we're talking about fundraising. So let's just get right into it, Ash. And you're an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur before, and I'm sure a lot of the audience are also entrepreneurs. So we all know that starting your business can be really, really tough, but especially when it comes to finances. How did you go about the funding for SupportRoom?
I'll be honest with you, it's been a very difficult road. Fundraising is one of the hardest challenges that any business, especially today when the financial climate is not great. But I can kind of backtrack actually. We started fundraising halfway through our development of SupportRoom. And we got laughed at by many VCs and also angel investors as well. The whole concept was, how can you come to us without any traction, a product, so we really decided at that point that let's stop our fundraising and really focus and drill down on launching a product that we can take to market, and then start driving some traction, and the key focus was we were just too early as an organization at that point to raise capital. So we actually invested our own capital into SupportRoom. And as I say, if you believe in something, you're passionate about something, then obviously you're going to put your money where your mouth is, right? So for us, it was really about steering it. Now, early on in the SupportRoom journey, I knew that I needed people around me that had the know-how of growing a business and helping me to steer the business in the right direction. So our co-founder, right from the beginning, who I actually went to university with, so a lot of advice around raising funds right at the beginning is reach out to your family and friends. So that's exactly what I did. I reached out to a good friend of mine, Deepak, who actually became an investor in SupportRoom and also a co-founder. Because that allowed us to actually develop the product and really focus on scaling it as well. But as of 2000, and I think it was 21 to be fair, I became very good friends with a consultant, and this consultant became an advisor to me. Which was fantastic. And I actually met him off Upwork, funny enough. I was looking for somebody that could do my accounts. And through our conversation, I uncovered that he actually raises funds for other organizations at our level. And through him actually, and his connections, we started to engage in conversations. And I think the most important thing to understand, by this time, we were driving traction and we had a live product in the market. Yeah. And the key focus was, who would really be interested in this? And we had so many rejections at that point, different reasons, people giving us advice and support, but we took all of that feedback on board and we continued to develop and continue to steer our strategy. We diverted our strategy in different ways. But the key turning point was when we actually launched our B2B product into the market, where we really focused on organizations. And that steered a huge interest from investors. We started signing clients really quickly, which is great because, our mission statement was always to help as many employees as possible. But within a short space of time, we started to raise capital from angel investors. We were raising 900,000 in total. But I think one of the things that really helped our organization to steer capital was we registered for EIS and SEIS, which actually attracted angel investors to invest in our organization due to the tax benefits, obviously. and minimizing risk. But through this consultant, we were able to start having the conversations that we couldn't have before. The other thing that we did was we worked as a team. Yeah, the co-founder, myself, and also this consultant. We'd done our research in terms of what VCs we wanted to go out to, the type of angel investors we wanted to focus on. We created a pipeline just like you would in sales, where we knew where our opportunity sets were located, how much we were actually closing, and where some of the conversations were within, we would call it the investment conversation process. I think we spoke to, within the space of, I would say 12 months, we must have spoken to at least 200 to 300 investors, right? But we really stayed focused, and we knew that we had something special. And we continue to just work really hard on, opening up conversations. But the other thing we found is once we started raising capital, we also started to get referrals from the current investors. And that was important. I used to have weekly calls with our current investors, and we used to have conversations around, things that, giving them updates. And based on that, they became advocates of what we were doing. And they really kind of steered new opportunities into our pipeline. So yeah, look, it's a tough road, but the fundamental pillars of driving success was planning, treating raising investment as sales, right? Because you are developing a pipeline, trying to close your pipeline, driving referrals from your current opportunities that you have, and staying focused to your mission, not letting no's deter you from where you're trying to get to. Being really thick-skinned, because yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So given all of that, would you say that that's the best fundraising strategy, primarily just narrowing it down to family, friends, and angel investors? Or do you think that, something else is better?
I think what we found was where we were within our journey, we were too early for a venture capitalist. And we got that feedback quite often, right? We felt like we needed a lot more traction, and we need to increase our revenue in order to get that. But from the angel investors and the EIS and SEIS scheme, we realized that actually we were engaging in better conversations, and we were driving more conversions in terms of investments. We also, the referrals is a great way, because once you get a really good investor, they have their own network. Why not tap into their network, right? They're invested. They want to see your company grow so that they get a return on investment. So they're going to open it up to their network and etc. So that's a brilliant way of doing it. Family and friends, 100%. We had family and friends invest in SupportRoom. They believed in us as individuals. They obviously knew who we were and what we had achieved in the past. We also did go down a crowdfunding route. And that was great for brand awareness, actually, and actually enticing other investors into conversations. What would I say about crowdfunding? Be prepared for a lot of hard work and a long journey. It's a huge time investment. The honest truth is, would I do crowdfunding again? Probably not. I'm always clear about these things. But I think, if you have the right product, you've got the right type, you've got time and resource to really deliver it, then it can be a great way of getting your brand in front of the right people. But yeah, it's the other thing here is that you should always be with your investors, continue to update them in terms of what's happening, because it's kind of like you're building relationships with them. But yeah, even with the individuals that actually say no to you as well. You know, we used to send out newsletters updating them on our progress. Now, typically what I found is once a VC said no, very difficult to get back in again, right? Because that opportunity is gone and they're pitching new startups. They're getting pitched by new startups every single day. And the probability of getting a VC over the line is quite small anyway, to be fair. But we did get a VC that actually funded SupportRoom, which was, you know, once we drove up that we delivered the right level of traction, we actually got there.
Yes, so I mean, I think in the first episode as well, you spoke about how as an entrepreneur, you're always learning. We have to learn on the go. What do you think is been your biggest lesson for funding for your business thus far?
I think the biggest lesson for funding, I think, is keep going, right? You're going to keep getting no's, and that's part of raising funds. You know, we're going to be moving into a Series A funding round, but that's probably going to be even harder. Yeah, but it's a challenge, and I think you have to believe in what you do, and you've got to believe that actually you are going to deliver success. Right? If you don't believe in yourself as an individual, you know, your team's not going to believe in what you're doing, right? And the people around you are not going to believe in, you know, your vision and mission. So you've got to really have faith in yourself, and you will get there, right? If you've got the right type of business, right? If you've got a business that is going to really address problems. A lot of companies say, well, you need something unique. Actually, it doesn't always have to be unique, right?
Yeah.
It's the way that you deliver it, right? And that's what's really important here. But I think you need to be thick-skinned, be really thick-skinned when you're going into a funding round, and be focused on the end goal.
Absolutely. We are in the third year of the pandemic, basically, almost. So do you think that the funding processes have changed since the pandemic at all?
I honestly think, yes, actually. I think, you know, I think investors are weary, right? We are now moving into a very into uncertain times from a financial standpoint. The climate's definitely changing. You know, I know that VCs are definitely tightening up the way that they invest in companies, right? But at the same time, right, I don't think that should deter you. I think you, as a company, you need to probably tighten your belt. Your burn rate, for example, as tech companies are always burning cash. I think we need to be very cautious and hold on to the cash that we're generating, as well as continue to generate revenue. But I think it's going to be a lot harder to raise capital, right, over the next 6 to 12 months. And we've got to all be prepared for that. Yeah. But should that stop you from going out and raising capital? Definitely not. You know, do the rounds, keep knocking on doors, and eventually you will get there, right? You know, we're always, I think, for uncertain times are always going to be there, but the right investor will come along and help you to get to where you need to get to.
Absolutely, that's very true. If you were starting SupportRoom today, how do you think you would have done anything differently?
That's a really good question. I think for the beginning, actually, I think planning would have been what we would have done differently, right? I think from a technology standpoint, we didn't plan and we didn't project management well at the beginning. And I think that was probably our downfall in terms of going to market. Yeah, we went to market a lot later than we should have. If we would have planned and executed correctly, we could have probably gone to market 6 months before. But look, let's be realistic. You know, we could say we could have gone early, we could have gone later. But at the same time, I think, you know, even when we did go to market, we actually realized that the product fit still isn't right. You know, we spoke to clients and from different companies, etc., or prospects or whatever, and that we took their feedback and we redeveloped our platform anyway. So
Yeah.
it was a two-year journey in terms of the execution of SupportRoom, in terms of the whole development process. But yeah, I think at the beginning, I think when you start any startup, there's always going to be hiccups along the road. And I think when you're starting a startup, you're also doing it on a shoestring, right? You don't have
Yeah.
the funds, you're self-funding a business, and it's very easy to get carried away or run out of money very quickly as well. So I think the key focus is to plan. I think manage your finances correctly right from the beginning, which I think we done okay actually.
Mhm.
And stay on path, stay on your path, yeah, and execute, yeah, with the right game plan.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Ash, for this amazing interview. I'm sure that a lot of the audience have found a lot of great insights, especially if they're starting a startup or if they're thinking about funding or crowdfunding or angel investors or VCs. So do you have any other last words to say to the audience before we head out?
No, I think, look, hopefully I provided some insights for other individuals that are raising funds. It's a challenging process. It's a full-time job, and I've experienced it firsthand. We've completed our round of 900,000, so we are in a better position, which is great, and we can really now focus on the business, which is exactly where we wanted to be as an organization. But yeah, stay strong and stay driven.
Absolutely. We have no other choice, really. Thank
Exactly.
you so much to everybody that has been watching. We'll see you next week at the next Founders Interview. Bye-bye.
Thank you.